right, let's go ahead and create the top 5 overpowered guns after the recent update. If these class setups help you guys out, make sure you drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn those post notifications. Let's jump right into it. For the first class that we're taking a look at, the TAQ-V, one of the most underrated weapons in the entire game. This is on par, if not better, than the TAQ-56 if you can control the recoil. Now for this setup, we are going to start off with the demo clean shot grip to bump up that sprint to fire speed as well as aim down sight speed, so we can get that first shot and guarantee that kill. Now for the tuning, we are going to increase the sprint to fire speed some more to -0.38, and we're also going to adjust the recoil steadiness to +0.84 to be a little bit more accurate at those longer ranges. Now we are going to go ahead and skip over the stock. These attachments are not going to help us out for the specific class setup. We're also going to skip over the optic because the iron sights are crystal clear, and on the TAQ-V there are better attachment choices. We are also going to skip over the laser because these are not going to be necessary for a more medium to long range build. Now we are going to go ahead and rock a barrel, and that's going to be the Lance 12-inch barrel to increase that aim down sight speed and added hip recoil control. Just a great attachment that's going to overall enhance that medium range combat, and the cons are going to be irrelevant because for the tuning, we are going to increase the aim down sight speed to -0.34 and even more recoil steadiness at +0.35. Now we are going to rock a muzzle, and it's going to be the Castovia DX9, which is going to be mandatory, giving us increased sound suppression, bullet velocity, recoil smoothness, and much needed recoil control. We can run it on their spawn, build a quick and easy streak with that sound suppression, but still be accurate at long ranges with this suppressor. Now for the tuning, we are going to increase that bullet velocity to +0.68, and we're also going to adjust that recoil smoothness at +0.90. And then finally, for the last attachment, for the underbarrel, we are going to rock that FTAC 56 to smooth out that recoil pattern, giving us increased aiming auto stability, hipfire accuracy, and obviously recoil stabilization. For the tuning, we are going to go ahead and increase the aim walking speed to -0.13, and we're also going to go ahead and bump up that recoil stabilization at +0.52. Now you have a couple of options under the magazine category here. You can either run the 50 round drum, you can rock the 30 round magazine, or you can go ahead and just rock a 4 attachment class setup. It's up to you, but in my personal opinion, I think 50 is going to be the best option here. It's actually not going to increase the weight as much as you would think, because when you guys jump into the firing range with this build, you're going to see that the TAQ-V actually has a pretty quick ADS. It's also going to have very, very easy to control recoil even at those longer ranges. Now from in the setup, we are going to rock the combat knife, stun grenade, proximity mine, and for my custom perk package, I'm running double time scavenger, resupply here, as well as quick fix. And then finally, for the field upgrades, I have a munitions box as well as dead silence. Definitely a nasty class up. You have a little bit of leeway room in the magazine category, but overall it's going to be a top tier choice for overpowered weapons. Now for the second setup, we are taking a look at the FTAC Recon. People are sleeping on the FTAC Recon. This is one of the weapons that gets me killed off numerous MGB nuke streaks because it has a one-shot kill potential. Now for the first attachment, we are going to rock the X10 grip to bump up that sprint to fire speed as well as aim down sight speed. Now for the tuning, we are going to bump up the sprint to fire speed some more to -0.36, and we're also going to adjust the aim down sight speed to -0.77. Now we are, however, going to skip over the stock on this weapon as well. These are not going to be helping us out, but we are going to jump right over to the optic and rock that Cronin Mini Pro, giving us a clean optic picture, very easy to use at close range, medium range, as well as longer ranges. Now for the tuning, all we're going to do is increase that aim down sight speed almost all the way down to -2.81. Remember, maxing out the tuning is not always your best option here. You can actually create negative values, making your weapon worse, and that's what we do not want to do when building a setup. We're, however, going to skip over the laser. Obviously, this is going to be irrelevant. It's not going to help us out on these marksman rifle type weapons. We are going to rock a barrel here. This is going to be the Bull Rider 16.5, the absolute best barrel to run on the Recon. Don't run anything else. This is going to be perfect, giving us bullet velocity, recoil control, which is huge, damage range, as well as added hip fire accuracy as a bonus here. Now for the tuning, we are going to increase the aim down sight speed to -0.27, and we're also going to bump up that recoil steadiness at +0.40. Now the muzzle is restricted, but don't fear, we have an underbarrel which is going to be the FTAC 56 to smooth out that recoil pattern, and obviously go ahead and make sure this weapon is easy to use at longer ranges. Now for the tuning, we are going to go ahead and bump up that aim walking speed at -0.32, and we're also going to adjust that stabilization at +0.59. Now for the last attachment, we have to go ahead and rock that 15-round magazine. This weapon only has 10 shots by default. That is not enough. Theoretically, if you're accurate, you can get an MGB nuke with only 2 magazines, which is pretty insane if you ask me. Once you jump in the firing range, you're going to be happy because the FTAC Recon is going to have a quick aim down sight, and we're going to be able to get those one-shot kills, and it's going to be a very, very easy to use weapon, even at those medium to longer ranges. Again, boom, one-shot kill, they're done. Then the setup is going to be the combat knife, stun grenade, proximity mine, and for the custom perk package, we are rocking double time scavenger, resupply, as well as quick fix. And then obviously for our field upgrades, we have pro enabled, munitions box, as well as dead silence. Let me go ahead and give this weapon a try. It's an underrated weapon. People don't run it, but honestly, I get killed by this gun all the time, and it's incredibly annoying. Now for class number 3, taking a look at the Minibak, man. I absolutely love the Minibak. Definitely a solid SMG of choice if you are trying to run and gun and mow down the entire enemy team without having to worry about a thing, and still have ammo. We're starting off with that true TAQ grip, bumping up the sprint to fire speed, as well as aim down sight speed. It's a submachine gun. This is going to be one of those mandatory attachments that you definitely should go ahead and equip. Now for the tuning, we are going to bump up that sprint to fire speed. This is going to be one of those weird weapons where you can actually go ahead and max this out all the way with this specific build at -0.45. And we're also going to adjust that aim down sight speed here at -0.87. Definitely a great attachment and tune combination. Again, some weapons give you that leeway you can max it out, so feel free to go ahead and slide it all the way down for sprint to fire speed. Now we are going to rock a stock. It's going to be the VOK stock list. We're removing the stock on the Minibak, giving us some more close range benefits at increased aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control. Everything we need for a run and gun aggressive submachine gun. Now obviously for the optic, we're skipping over all these. The iron sights are crystal clear, and for me, a lot of my submachine guns, I don't typically like to run an optic on it. Now we're skipping over the laser also. We don't need to rock this on the specific build. We're going to jump right over to the barrel, which is going to be that back 279mm barrel, giving us increased damage range, hip fire accuracy, and much needed bullet velocity with this high capacity submachine gun. Now for the tuning, we are going to increase the aim down sight speed at -0.22, and also recoil steadiness is going to be bumped up at +0.37. Definitely go ahead and tune this attachment to the key points here, because you're going to be building a submachine gun good at any and all ranges. Now for the muzzle, we are going to rock that SendGuard MK5. We need to have this on the Minibak if you're trying to go for some MGB nukes or to increase your KD ratio, which I know a lot of you guys are trying to do. This is going to be perfect. We have that sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, as well as added recoil smoothness here. For the tuning, we are going to bump up that bullet velocity at +0.74, and also we're going to adjust that aim down sight speed at -1.22. Definitely a great attachment and tune combination if you're trying to build a stealthy yet aggressive submachine gun build. And then finally, we are going to go ahead and rock the grip mag, just so we can go ahead and smooth out that recoil pattern, and also giving us some more aiming idle stability. Unfortunately, we cannot tune this just like that no stock. Once you guys go into the firing range, you're going to be very happy because this weapon is going to have a quick ADS. And on top of that, it's still going to be relatively easy to control, even at those medium and longer ranges. Main of the setup is going to be the combat knife, stun grenade, proximity mine. And for my custom perk package, I have on double time scavenger, resupply, or fast hands. Both are going to be good options here. For nukes, I'd rock resupply, but if you guys are trying to run and gun, definitely go ahead and put on fast hands. And then obviously we have on quick fix. Now for the build upgrades, obviously pro enabled, munitions box, as well as dead silence. A solid submachine gun that honestly, people don't really rock this weapon as much as they should, man. I see a lot of Lachmann Subs, which for good reason, it's amazing. And I also see a lot of Fennec 45s, but definitely don't sleep on the Minibak. Now for class set number 4, we're taking a look at the Lachmann Sub, man. This honestly, This is the best submachine gun to use if you're running and gunning. I'm gonna say it's a little bit better than the Minibak just because the time to kill is unbelievable and the mobility on this setup is literally stupid. Like, it does not make sense how fast this is. I'm putting this in all of my top 5s because this weapon is the real deal. Now we're starting off with that Lachmann TCG-10 grip for that increased recoil control. You have to run this on this submachine gun, otherwise you're gonna be shooting the moon. This gun's gonna be hard to control. Now for the tuning, we are gonna bump up that sprint to fire speed at negative 0.42, and for the recoil status, we're bumping that up to plus 0.74. Now for the stock, we're gonna go ahead and take it off with that stockless mod, giving us everything we need to have for a fast Lachmann Sub, aka MP5 build. Aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, hip recoil control. We got it all under control. We're not running an optic here. Obviously the iron sights are crystal clear, but we are gonna rock a laser. It's gonna be the VLK LZR 7 milliwatt for that increased aim down sight speed, aiming stability, as well as sprint to fire speed. This weapon is gonna be booking across the map with this attachment. Now for the barrel, we are gonna rock that Falcon 226mm barrel. Definitely amazing here, bumping up that movement speed as well as aim down sight speed. Now for the tuning, we are going to increase the aim down sight speed almost all the way down to negative 0.37, and we're also going to increase that recoil steadiness at plus 0.23. Definitely going to give this a try. It is amazing with this attachment and tune combination. And then finally, we're going to jump all the way down to the magazine with that 40 round mag, so we have a little bit more ammo, but again, it's not going to increase the weight of the submachine gun to the point where we're not going to benefit from its lightning quick maneuvering as well as aim down sight speed. Once you guys go ahead and set the setup up properly, you're going to be laughing because look at this. It's literally instant. This is ridiculous, stupid, and it's still going to have low recoil. I mean, what were they thinking with this submachine gun? It is amazing. Main of the build is going to be the combat knife, stun grenade, proximity mine. Custom perk package is going to be double time scavenger, resupply, or fast hands. Both options are fantastic on this weapon. And then obviously we have on quick fix. And then for the field upgrades, you guys know the drill, man. Munitions box as well as dead silence. This gun is awesome. Definitely one of the best, if not the best, running gun, aggressive submachine gun in the entire game. You're going to be mopping the floor with Finnick 45 users with the Lachmann Sub. And then finally for class setup number 5, if all else fails, if you still have not been able to drop an MGB nuke, the cast off 70 for you is going to get it done, man. I highly recommend you guys go ahead and give this weapon a try. I do believe in the future this weapon could potentially get a nerf, which means made worse. So give the setup a try before they kind of can it, so you guys can abuse it and have some fun. So the first attachment, we are going to rock that true TAQ grip to increase that sprint to fire speed as well as aim down sight speed. This is going to be amazing on this weapon. It kind of makes it feel like an AR SMG hybrid here. Now for the tuning, we are going to bump up that sprint to fire speed at negative 0.35, and also for that aim down sight speed, we have this set up at negative 0.74. Now we are going to rock that Ultrazat stock. This is going to be one of the better stock attachments for this assault rifle, SMG hybrid, whatever you want to call it. It's going to increase that aim walking speed as well as sprint speed, exactly what we need. Now for the tuning, we are going to bump up the aim walking speed at negative 1.16, and also for our aim down sight speed, we are going to increase this at negative 1.94. We are not running an optic. The iron sights are crystal clear. It's almost a crime to defile them, especially if you're trying to go for a nuke and be running and gunning. We're not running a laser here. We're not going to need it, but we are going to jump right over to the barrel, which is going to be that BR209 barrel, bumping up that movement speed as well as aim down sight speed. And then for the tuning, we are going to increase the aim down sight speed some more at negative 0.34, and also that aim walking speed slightly at negative 0.10. We are going to rock a muzzle. The Echoless 80 is going to be a perfect attachment option for this assault rifle, giving us that sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and much needed recoil smoothness. We can run on their spawn, flip a quick and easy streak, and tear it up. Definitely a great attachment for the cast off 74U. For the tuning, we are going to bump up the bullet velocity at plus 0.84, and obviously for increased aim down sight speed, we have this set up at negative 1.17. We don't need recoil smoothness because this weapon is not going to have any recoil, so we don't need to go ahead and adjust that. Now for the final attachment, we are going to put on the FTAC Tiger Grip here. kind of smooth out that recoil pattern and also give us that ability of aiming out stability as well as added hip fire accuracy. For the tuning, we are going to increase the aim walking speed almost all the way down at negative 0.37, and we're also going to increase that aim down sight speed at negative 0.44. Once you guys go ahead and build this setup, you're going to be very happy because it is going to have a quick ADS and obviously little to no recoil, super easy to use at medium to longer ranges. Mainly the setup is going to be the combat knife, stun grenade, proximity mine, and custom perk package, double time scavenger, resupply, as well as quick fix. And obviously for the field upgrades, we have a munitions box as well as dead silence. These are going to be the top 5 fastest killing and overpowered guns after the recent update here in Modern Warfare 2. Give these a go. If there are 2 setups I want you guys to check out right now, definitely give a try to the TAQ-V. It's an underrated battle rifle, assault rifle. It is amazing. And then obviously go ahead and rock it with the Lachmann Sub. I'm telling y'all, man, this is a fantastic and fun submachine gun to go ahead and use. That trusty handy dandy MP5. If this video does help you guys out, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and also turn those post notifications. It's been a boy Ears, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.